LOL Surprise and Baketivity presents Fruity Cake Pops. Let's get baking! While baking along, you can press pause at any time. Catch up with the steps, press play, and continue. Make your cake. Step 1. Wash your hands and preheat the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Place 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter on your counter to soften for the buttercream. Step 2. Line a 6 or 8-inch square or round cake pan with parchment paper and set aside. Step 3. In a medium-sized bowl, whisk together the flour, baking powder, and 2 salt packs. Set aside. Step 4. In a separate small bowl, whisk together 1 egg, half a teaspoon of oil, sugar, and the vanilla sugar for about 1 to 2 minutes. Set aside. Step 5. In a microwave-safe bowl, melt together a 1/4 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in 15-second intervals. Once melted together, stir to cool a little. Step 6. Add the melted milk and butter mixture to the flour mixture. Mix with a mixing spoon until everything is nicely combined. That was a tongue twister. Step 7. Now slowly pour the wet ingredients in, whisking until the batter is nice and smooth. Step 8. Pour the batter into your prepared cake pan. Step 9. Bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until a toothpick inserted comes out with a few moist crumbs. After baking, let it cool for at least 10 minutes. Make your buttercream. Step 1. While the cake bakes, prepare the buttercream. In a small bowl, use a fork to cream together 3 tablespoons of softened butter and the confectionery sugar. Step 2. Continue mixing while adding 2 tablespoons of milk. Mix until there are no clumps and your buttercream is light and creamy. Step 3. Divide the buttercream equally in 2 small bowls. Step 4. In one of the bowls, add all of the pineapple flavour, that has the yellow label, and 15 to 20 drops of yellow food colouring. Use a spoon to mix until combined. Step 5. In the other bowl, add all of the watermelon flavour. It'll have the red label. And 15 to 20 drops of red food colouring. Use a spoon to mix until combined. Crumble your cake. Step 1. Once the cake has cooled for at least 10 minutes, use a fork to crumble the cake. If the cake is cool enough to touch, you may also use your hands to crumble it. Step 2. Divide the cake crumbs in half and add 1/2 to each bowl of buttercream. Combine well with a spoon. Step 3. Add the mini choc chips to the red cake mixture. Mix until combined. These will represent our watermelon seeds, but much tastier. Shape your cake pops. Step 1. Line a cookie sheet with parchment paper to lay your cake pops on. Step 2. Using a 1.5 tablespoon measuring spoon, scoop 6 hefty spoons of the red cake mixture. Gently roll into ball shapes, making sure not to overwork the cake. Place them onto the prepared pan. Step 3. Again, using the 1.5 tablespoon measuring spoon to scoop 6 hefty spoons of the yellow cake mixture. This time, gently forming them into egg shapes, making sure not to overwork the cake. Place them onto the pan. Step 4. Add a pink stick into each watermelon cake ball and a yellow stick into each pineapple one. Push the stick just halfway through each cake ball. Step 5. Place your tray into the freezer so your cake balls can set for an hour. Decorate. Step 1. 1 to 2 minutes before it's time to remove your cake pops from the freezer, melt the white candy melts in a small microwave-safe bowl in 30-second intervals until fully melted. Step 2. Gently dip each red cake pop into the melted white candy melts. Coat them entirely. Let them set back on the tray for 2 to 5 minutes. Step 3. Melt the green candy melts in a small microwave-safe bowl in 30-second intervals until fully melted. Step 4. Lay out a small piece of parchment paper. Dip the paintbrush into the melted green candy melts and brush 24 small strokes. You'll be using these as the leaves for your pineapple cake pops. You'll be needing 4 for each. Step 5. Place the sheet of leaves in the freezer to set. Step 6. Gently dip each white-coated cake pop into the remaining melted green candy melts. Coat them entirely. Place them back on the tray to set. Step 7. Take the green candy melt leaves out of the freezer and have a small rolled up piece of paper towel ready to use, just like this. Step 8. Melt the yellow candy melts in a small microwave-safe bowl in 30-second intervals until fully melted. A quick tip from me, work with one cake pop at a time for step 9, 10, and 11. Once complete, continue the same rhythm for all of the yellow pineapple cake pops. Step 9. Gently dip the yellow egg-shaped cake pops into the melted yellow candy melts. Coat them entirely. Step 10. While your coating is still wet, work quickly by dabbing with the paper towel to give each cake pop a pineapple texture. Step 11. Add 4 leaves on top of each pineapple cake pop. Step 12. Wrap an LOL surprise sticker around the middle of each stick. Share, eat, and enjoy! Baking with you was so much fun. Be sure to hit subscribe so you can keep up to date with all our recipes, tips, and tricks.